Hi, I'm Reverend Ann Hines, and I'm the minister here at Roncesvalles United Church. We are so excited to be hosting this two-day celebration of Indigenous lacrosse. And it's going to culminate with an Indigenous lacrosse game played in our church sanctuary. Now, a lot of people have said, why are you doing this? And I say three things. One, no stained glass windows will be harmed in this project. Two, it's never happened before, and it's never happening again. But the most important thing is, Indigenous lacrosse is a sacred game. It's more than just sport to the Indigenous peoples. It was used for healing, it was used for conflict resolution. So a sacred game should be played in a sacred place, in our church sanctuary. So for our Indigenous weekend, we had skills training with Justin, who's an amazing Métis coach, out in our parking lot. The kids had a fantastic time learning about lacrosse, and they all got a keychain that was made on the Tuscarora Reserve to take with them. We also had Chris Boucher here.
I'm Chris Boucher, number 21 for the Toronto Rock. We're in Ronci at the Polish Festival. We're sitting outside of Roncesvalles United Church, introducing the great game of lacrosse to anybody that wants to give it a shot. You know, obviously, lacrosse being the creator's game, part of the Indigenous culture, deeply rooted in their culture. It's been an amazing journey to learn the roots of where this amazing game came from, and today introducing that Indigenous culture of that sport to people passing by.
And we had Jim Calder here, who is in the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Jim was showing his amazing collection of historic sticks.
Hey, my name is Jim Calder, and I'm an historian for the game of lacrosse, and I work with a lot of First Nations people on helping spread the essence of this game, which is the culture of the game. I show them the different types of sticks. This is a replica of what a stick in the 1860s would look like. Here's another type of stick. This is called a Great Lakes stick. And the Anishinaabe nations, the Chippewa, the Ojibwa, the Ottawa, Potawatomi, use this type of stick.
Then on Sunday, we had a lacrosse game in our sanctuary. It was begun by the elder, Stephen Winterhawk, with medicine woman and some drummers. They did an amazing smudging ceremony.
Well, we're going to smudge the players, and then Sedalia is going to walk through the church and do a quick smudging.
They and Jim talked about the history of Indigenous lacrosse for medicine, for healing, for conflict resolution.
With this stick, important thing to know is for the Haudenosaunee, hickory is a medicine, and the pocket, well, you know those woodchucks and groundhogs we see around Toronto? They made a great pocket.
Go!
So we had one goal called back because it wasn't a pass. Oh, there we go. Right. This ball.
Go!
We were glad no shots were really that far off where they went right through a stained glass window. So we think all in all it was a win-win-win. There was one woman who was a recipient of receiving the ball that was used in the game. And that's the way it's always been done. They've played medicine games for people who need it, and they're given the ball at the end because they take that away, and it reminds them that the whole community was behind them.
I pray for healing of my mind, body, and I pray for healing
of mind, body of all peoples. I pray for healing of the natural world. I pray for continued healing of our relationship with Indigenous peoples, and I pray for healing of what I think many of us will agree is now our broken world.
I want to introduce our local MPP, Alexa Gilmore, who has brought us a great honor.
My name is Alexa Gilmore. I'm the MPP for Parkdale High Park, and it's my honor to be here today to present on behalf of the Legislative Assembly of Ontario a certificate, a scroll today to Roncesvalles United on this historic moment when an Indigenous lacrosse game was played, the sacred game of the Indigenous people, in a sacred space like this.
Our church sanctuary has a lot of truth and reconciliation and Indigenous culture. We are so fortunate that Philip Cote, the Indigenous artist, has come here and painted these spectacular murals on our church walls. These are the first Indigenous murals in any church sanctuary in North America. We invited Philip to come to our church and paint something. But we told him that he could paint anything he wanted in our sanctuary, and he could paint anything he wanted.
Since this is a church, the best story to tell is the creation story of the Anishinaabe people, Ojibwe people. And why is this important? Well, because it's one of those stories that's not really out there. So the painted image up here is the arrival of the first human and the landscape and how it was.
And he said that by being invited to bring whatever he wanted to a church sanctuary, he felt we were coming one step closer to everyone becoming one. So we all were changed by this. This is more than just paint on walls. This is a change of our feelings and our understanding. A small change, but it mattered to us. We brought Indigenous lacrosse to all kinds of people who came for the Polish festival and stayed for the Indigenous lacrosse. We hope you enjoyed this video as well.